We must understand that the Holocaust is not only about 6 million Jews that perished. Holocaust is about racism, loss of freedom, loss of dignity, humiliation, loss of education, confiscation of property, enslavement, starvation, torture, mass execution, and of course the final solution to the Jewish question, which was decided at the Wannsee Conference on the 20th of January 1942. There were 15 high-ranking government officials and some high-ranking officers at this meeting. They sat to a 5-star dinner, they drank the best brandy, they smoked the best cigar, and within less than an hour they decided the fate of the entire Jewish population of Europe to eradicate the Jewish people. They nearly succeeded. They killed 6 million out of a population of about 11 million. Among them, unfortunately, 35 members from my family. Many uncles, aunts, cousins that I used to play with, I knew them all. One day we said goodbye to them. We didn't even cry. We said when all this is over, we will be reunited and everything will be all right. But we never saw them again. I lived in a small village called Merashice. It was a farming community, about 700 people. My father was a farmer. My grandfather had the village shop. We lived in Slovakia for generations. When I when I was trying to trace my family back, I am able to go back to 1700. So we lived in Slovakia for generations. We considered ourselves Slovak. My father was in the Slovak army. I had an uncle who was one of the first pilots in the Slovak Air Force. So we were part of the society in the village. Anytime there was any event, whether it was a wedding or funeral, my father or grandfather were invited. If anybody needed some help regarding a good doctor or a lawyer, they always come to my father or my grandfather to ask to recommend somebody. So we were central in the village, and people that come to the shop, my grandfather always would speak about the family if anybody was not well or anything. So we were very much liked in the village. But all this began to change in 1939 when the German army invaded Czech Republic and they annexed the Sudetenland. And they imposed a puppet government in Slovakia. The president of the Slovak Republic was a Roman Catholic priest. His name was Joseph Tiso. He was a big anti-Semite. He didn't like the Jews. And he surrounded himself with people on the right wing party. It was a fascist party, and they imposed the dictatorship in Slovakia. Right with his inauguration, he wasn't elected by popular vote, as I say. He was imposed by the German government, but he was a great sympathizer of the Nazi regime in Germany. And when the war began, the cooperation between Slovakia and Germany was very close, and Slovakia even joined the German-Japanese Axis, which meant if Slovakia needed help, Germany helped. If Germany needed help, Slovakia did. And during the war, the cooperation was great because through Slovakia, they used to transport the manpower, the ammunition, the heavy equipment like tanks and guns from Germany to the Polish border. Also, many Slovaks volunteered to help with the war effort. They volunteered to go to Germany. They worked in ammunition factory, in engineering factory, helping with the war effort. And therefore, while the rest of Europe was being occupied by German army, Slovakia, in fact, was not occupied by the German army. And therefore, whatever happened in Slovakia, it was done by the Slovak government.